We had told everyone we knew our baby would be a girl, and were quite sure of it of ourselves. But we couldn't help but feel a slight bit of apprehension as we waited for the ultrasound technician to give us a definite answer. It's a girl. In a few weeks, I was scheduled to spend a month in the Australian outback as part of field work required for my dissertation. I needed to get approval from my doctor in order to convince the university I was fit for travel. She agreed. If I am careful and smart, I should be fine. I bought my tickets that week.
It was hard to know Alicia would be on the other side of the world and pregnant without me. Nevertheless, we knew well ahead of time that this trip was a possibility, so I had to come to terms with it. Promise me you won't carry anything heavy. And don't overexert yourself. If you need to take a break, let someone know. Also, stay hydrated. I love you.
I love you too. In order to save money on my flights, I ended up flying out of a small airport in Victoria, Texas to the Houston airport. The Hopper flight was in a super tiny airplane, and the turbulence had me holding my seat and my lunch. The hour-long flight felt like an eternity, and I vowed I would never put myself through it again. The rest of the flights were long, but uneventful, and I arrived safely in Perth, Australia. After my colleagues and I got over our jet lag, we set off to the wilderness of Western Australia to study lizards. My field of research requires samples from these remote locations, so the convenience and luxuries of modern living were replaced with true primitive camping. My cozy bed turned into a small air mat which sprung a leak the first night. Air conditioning made way for dry heat and flies, and the toilet was replaced with a small shovel. Along the way, there were flat tires, bugs, and sharp foliage, but also quite a bit of natural beauty. Nights were lonely.
On my side of the world, my imagination ran wild with images of Alicia's adventures in the outback. Occasionally, Alicia was within cell phone range and could text with me. These brief conversations helped ease my mind and made the time go by just a little bit quicker.
Somewhere around the halfway point of my trip, my feet and hands began to swell. One day I looked down at my feet and barely recognized them, they were so big. Work was going very well, though, and the daily tasks kept me busy. After a month of camping, it was great to return to Perth. I felt like a real person again, and laid down in a nice bed. It was then I noticed it was getting harder to see my toes. Oh!
There's my mother.
Can you bring me my tea? Oh, my bladder. Help me up. The energy I found during the latter half of my second trimester had now given way to feelings of heaviness and exhaustion. Nights became a game of chance and my constant war with acid reflux. This led to some very creative pillow placements.
Can I mention the crazy loud snoring too?
No. There were other surprising things deprived of me due to my state. Hot baths got replaced by lukewarm ones. We should really start forming a birth plan. I also couldn't use any fancy bath products since I heard it was safer to use the gentlest cleansers you can find. That's not to say there weren't perks to having such a large belly. It made for a very interesting conversation starter at the awkward Christmas party we attended.
The third trimester also marked the time where we decided to get serious about preparing for the birth and future as parents. The time had come for the classes. We enrolled in a birthing class that went over all the things you can expect in the hospital we chose, including everything that can go wrong. The class also devoted time to breathing exercises. And there was a prerequisite how to change a diaper lesson. But trust me, it doesn't take long to become an expert in this department. With a head full of knowledge, we were beginning to feel ready for the big day.
We need to write the birth plan out still.
Oh, right.
As the days moved closer and closer on our countdown calendar, I began to feel increasingly anxious. I was ready to get this thing going as my level of discomfort grew with itchy stretch marks, acid reflux, and an obviously giant belly.
Hey, you look like you're ready to pop.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm as big as a freaking whale. Yeah, I was ready.
Our hospital bag was packed with all the essentials, our car seat was ready to go, the nursery was ridiculously close to being complete. Now all we had to do was wait.
And write out our birth plan. Remember? We were days from the expected due date, and I was trying everything I could to get things moving along.
Don't worry, it'll happen soon. Any day now, I suspect.
Yeah, I know.
Good night, honey.
Good night.